At a session with a marriage counselor, the wife snapped at her husband, "That's not true. I do so enjoy sex." Then, turning to the counselor, she explained, "But this animal expects it 4 or 5 times a year." Two lawyers stranded on an island. Two lawyers had been stranded on a deserted island for several months. The only other thing on the island was a tall coconut tree, which provided their food. Each day, one of the lawyers climbed to the top of the tree to see if he could see a rescue boat coming. One day, the lawyer yelled down from the tree, "Wow, I can't believe my eyes. There is a girl out there floating in our direction." The lawyer on the ground was very skeptical and said, "I think you are hallucinating and you should come down right now." So, the lawyer reluctantly climbed down and told his friend that he had just actually seen a naked blonde woman floating face up, headed toward their island. The other lawyer started to laugh, thinking his friend had surely lost his mind. But within a few minutes, up to their beach floated a naked blonde woman, face up, and totally unconscious. The two lawyers went over to her and discovered to their amazement that she was still alive. One said to the other, "You know, we've been on this island for months now without a woman. It's been a long time. Do you think we should, screw her?" The other lawyer glanced down at the totally naked woman and asked, "Out of what?" There was a businessman whose wife was really into sex. He was a hard-working guy but still managed to satisfy his wife's needs. One time he had to leave for another country for a business meet. He would have been gone for a week. He knew his wife's sex drive and didn't want to take risks, so he thought he should gift her something so she can satisfy herself and doesn't think about searching for a new partner. So he went to an adult toy shop. As soon as he entered, the first thing he saw was a blow-up doll, but soon dismissed the thought of buying it since it's almost like another human. He then proceeded to the dildo section. There he saw all kinds of dildos, from massive to tiny to ones which glow in the dark, but none of them grabbed his interest, so he decided he'll go somewhere else and begins to leave the shop when he was stopped by the owner sitting behind the cash counter. "I know what you're looking for," the owner says. This grabbed the businessman's attention and he stopped to hear what the owner had to say. "There was a man many years ago who looked just like you, wealthy but tired. He had a wife whom he couldn't satisfy and she was about to leave him when he came here and got my help. He's happily married since then." "How exactly did you help him?" asked the businessman. The cashier bent down and revealed an engraved wooden box from under the counter. There were all sorts of symbols on the box. He opens it and inside it was a pink latex dildo, similar to the ones on the shelf. This is an ancient artifact haunted by a Maori tribe who all died of sex deprivation when all the women of their village were killed in a plague. "All their souls now reside in this dildo," said the owner. The businessman, being a skeptical guy, laughed and then turns to leave. The owner says, "You're all the same, thinking there's nothing above this material plane of existence. Watch this." The businessman turns around. Voodoo dildo, keyhole. To his astonishment, the businessman saw the box violently shake and the dildo rise in the air, float for a second and hover over to the keyhole in the front door and start to fuck it. The dildo fucked the keyhole with such force that the door unhinged and started cracking. Voodoo dildo, box. The dildo stops fucking the door and returns to the box. "I'll take high tea," screamed the businessman, and after a lot of negotiation he finally purchased the dildo and ran home. He tells his wife about the dildo and how to use it. "Voodoo dildo, pussy. That's how you activate it," the businessman told his wife and went on his business trip. After 3 days of being horny, the wife finally gave in to her urges and opened the wooden box, took out the dildo and uttered, "Voodoo dildo, pussy." The dildo shot from her hands and started fucking her, first slowly and then changing speed as the way she wanted. After an hour of fucking, the wife thought it was enough and she grabbed the dildo, but it didn't stop fucking her. Her husband had forgot to tell her how to stop the dildo. She started panicking and called him, but he didn't pick up, so she started to dress up and go for the hospital. While the dildo still fucking her, she got in her car and started driving. On the way she had a huge orgasm and her car swerved and almost hit another car. A police car saw this and she was stopped at the side of the highway. A policeman approached her. "Ma'am, you almost hit the gray SUV back there. Have you been drinking?" The wife then proceeds to tell him all about her husband and the voodoo dildo and that she can't stop it now. The policeman then says, "Yeah right, voodoo dildo my ass." A blonde and her boyfriend went to the movies. In the film, the main character is running through the storm, so she says, "I bet you 20 pounds that they don't get struck by lightning." And her boyfriend agrees. 20 seconds later, the main character is struck by lightning and the blonde looks confused and gets 20 pounds to give. Her boyfriend said, "I can't take this. I have seen the movie before." She replies, "So have I, but I didn't think lightning would strike twice in the same place." My new and 100% original, and truly terrible, COVID pirate joke. How did the pirates manage to avoid the pandemic? They COVID. Please smash the like button, and subscribe to my channel.